Te timata ngā kōrero o tēnei kaupapa honoro krori ki te kaihanga. E mihi atu kia koe ngā whānau e mātaki ngā kōrero ngā mahi o te ropu te mana o Ngāpuhi Kōwhao Rau, ngā whānau ngā kaimahi. Katoa, ngā mihi atu kia koe e mihi poto te whānau whakarongo te tiro ngā kōrero ma te atu e manaki.
The exciting thing for me is the whānau voice and the whānau taking responsibility. Yes, there are lots and lots of challenges, but many times we talk about resilience versus victimhood. There's a lot of the why. And when we're doing the work together around the dynamics of whanaungatanga, we put things into practice, and it's like the opportunity to ask the why. And once they understand, they start to quickly join the dots.
It's like humanity has come back into a court. If you go into a normal straight court, a very sterile environment, you're there to dispense justice, they say, but from our perspective, it's only a very few participating. The key player is usually, if you're going to look at the defendant, but really, he's not in there at all. It could carry on without him being there. Where our process, they're very present. They're in the center of it. The dialogue is with him. It's with his family. It's with those tohunga that are around him that are doing the work. When I say tohunga, I use that as Māori specialists, whether it's to deal with kōwaio, because those are King's self-awareness, understanding the journey that they got there. That's what the fire was talking about. That's why I believe this process, if it's done right, and for people have to be ready, it's not for everybody, but if people are ready and understand it, it's a key element to bring what I call positive change. And as Fire said, a lot of that understanding when people connect the dots, and the why. Everybody wants to punish people. You've done wrong, but nobody's asking the question, why?
A particular person who was well known to the court wanted to come into Matariki. This particular person, look, I honestly can't even remember what he was charged with. He was about 50 years of age. He'd been in and out of jail for 30 years. He had what we call 17 pages of criminal history. He'd probably committed over 100 offences. He was somebody who knew the system. He was brought from custody and sat effectively next to me as the judge. The argument as to whether he should come into Matariki was then had with the police opposing and his lawyer seeking he be admitted into Matariki. He's quite a big man, big solid man, but he was shuffling around in the chair and all of this sort of stuff. And I said to him, what's wrong? And he said, I've never spoken to a judge before. I'm really nervous. It's this guy with 30 years in the system had never, ever spoken to a judge.
Oh, well, the process is they have to plead guilty to whatever the charge is, and then once then that's when Te Mana o Ngāpuhi Kōwhao Rau can come in there. And so really it's about finding leadership in their whānau.
A lot of emphasis is picked on, is focused on the mana of the tangata or the person, and to restore that is lost. In a lot of situations, the first offence is not actually the primary drivers of it.
Because I was just coming out of recovery. I was just coming into recovery, so I met addiction, and then, they were telling me about the space in Moeroa that they were just opening, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, then I need somewhere that I can be able to go and share my trauma, my stories about my life when I was on me, and Waipuna Ora provided that for me. So, and now I facilitate the groups. We cater for the rehab in Waitangi. They come every Tuesday nights, which is good. It's helped me deal with my trauma in a healthy way. I've been off, I haven't fallen off the wagon. They've given me confidence to work in the community. Like you'll see me in a lot of projects that run in Moeroa.
So a tree bears fruit, but every tree has roots. So if you work on the root rather than the fruit, it will change the fruit.
All the things that I didn't want to do were the biggest things that I needed to do. My biggest challenge, I think, was connecting my trauma with my addiction. I had a 20-year addiction of meth, and at that time, thinking that everybody else had a problem. I didn't have the problem. It was your problem because you wanted to get me off meth. I think it was my second time in jail because I was already in Matariki and I reoffended, and then I went back to jail. And it was the second time in jail where I realised that this is my doing and that I had to make the change if I wanted change. I think I wanted change, but I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to change, but then I realised that this wasn't the life that I wanted to lead anymore.
It's assisting people who really need it. There are so many people who come in and out of the courts. Actually, they know the court systems well, but making changes so that they don't come through the system, in the past, traditional things haven't worked.
Because I just fell in this real dark, deep environment, holding on to a lot of trauma that I didn't even need to. But because I wasn't guided or supported, it attached and it grew, which just led me going on a downhill spiral into nothing. There's absolutely nothing in jail. And then the more they started tapping me into their programs, their group sessions, their one-on-ones, the more I just started discovering myself. Before you know it, my brother that I really hardly even talked to came to my graduation and rehab. I just didn't think that he will come for me. And he did that day. He did. And he was impressed. He was impressed that I was able to get away from it, really. I was happy that they come. But then that just made me stronger. It made me stronger to the point where I want more of this. Just want more and more and more. More of this wellness. Because that's what it practically is. They make you well. They guide you to help yourself, make yourself well.
I hate the term soft on crime. I really hate it. And you get it, coming up for elections, you get it brandished around all the time. People being soft on crime. And there's a real danger that, external people that know nothing about these processes say, oh, this is all about being soft on crime. I saw genuine progress that was being made towards potential transformation of lives in whānau, but I saw nothing soft about it. There was just hard mahi that sat there, and if somebody wasn't taken seriously, the law was sitting there making sure they corrected the things in the right direction